You know why you have to change, you know you want to change, and you even know how to change. So why haven't you changed yet? You should expect at this point that you can just simply roll out the red carpet and see your hard work pay off. But what's missing? Well, according to the ADKAR model, the answer is ability. And in this video, we will take a deep dive into ability and look at how do you build and measure it in an individual, and how can you best leverage it in the case of an organization. This is part 5 of a 6-part series, so do be sure to check out the description box below for the other videos. My name is Nick, and we are And Change. This is the step that really takes our change into fruition, because it is at this point that we are applying what we've learned from the previous 3 steps. It really brings the change into action. A common misconception about ability is that we are asking the question if the person is able to change or capable of changing, when in fact that is not what ability is about. Ability in the ADKAR model is very specifically asking, is the person changed? Let's use learning how to drive as a simple example. When your driving instructor is telling you where the brakes are and showing you how to use them and when to use them, he's imparting knowledge to you on how to be a driver. But when you grind your gears and stall your car and cook your clutch until you finally manage to park your car for the very first time, that's when you're demonstrating ability. The ability to be a driver. The better you drive, the more ability you demonstrate. To put it another way, awareness and knowledge is when you have their minds. Desire is when you've captured their hearts. But ability is when you see it in their hands. You see it in what they do, how they say, and how they think. It is when they are demonstrating the change in reality. So the question really remains, how do you measure ability in a person? Measuring ability in a person is done in 3 ways. You'd measure the speed of adoption, ultimate utilization, and proficiency. In change management, these are called the 3 human ROI factors. Speed of adoption measures how quickly a person adopts a new way of doing things. To hark back to our driver example, you could measure how long it takes to park the car. Ultimate utilization is all about how much of the change has been internalized by that person. An indicator of this in our example could be how often do you drive, or if you remember to turn on your indicator every time you turn. Proficiency measures how well the individual is performing in the new way. Again, back to the driver example, we could look at how little you grind the gears or indeed stall the car. We go in depth on the human ROI factors as part of the ProSci 3-day Change Management Certification Program. If you're interested in learning about the tools and how to measure these factors, take a look at the link in the description box below. This is hosted both virtually and face-to-face. At the end of the day, you need to find the measure that relates most to your change. You need to be able to ask the question, is the change being realized? Take it from us, there will always be a learning curve when it comes to change. And this applies when building ability in an individual too. It is a process. It takes time. You are not going to wake up one day and suddenly have maximum ability. It is always going to take time, and often it's a simple matter of practice makes perfect. So, with all that being said, how do you build ability in an individual? Albert Einstein once defined insanity as doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. This quote points out the inevitability of change for the sake of improvement. Keeping that in mind, change is hard no matter what. We are hardwired, our brains are hardwired to look for the familiar. We are creatures of habit that always look to improve our surroundings. And this is why change starts at the individual. So what can you do to build ability in a person? There is no better way than simply coaching the change in them and walking the change with them. In this way, we support them through the change and we also evolve with them. Ability is all about the execution of the change. And there is no better way to do that than simply by doing. So having said that, how do we coach ability and leverage it for the organization? As we like to say here at AndChange, organizational change starts with individual change. It is our role as change managers to manage the people side of change. What this means is that if we manage the people side of change at the individual level, the organizational change is sure to succeed. Building ability for a change in an organization relies on the direct leaders of the people impacted by the change. As change managers, nobody wants to hear from us. And the ProSci research over the 20+ years is quite clear on this. Our role as change managers is to enable the leaders to lead the change in their people, to become the Clark Kents of the organization. Why do I call them the Clark Kents? Well, it's because of what they have to do. They are in essence the superheroes of change in an organization. They have to communicate, liaise, advocate, resistance manage, and coach the change in their employees. Clark on its own is a rather large topic that requires a whole video of its own. So if you're interested in seeing that, leave a comment in the section below. This process becomes more complex the larger the organization is, because you have to take into account factors like organizational culture, ethnicity, values. These are all things that we have to take into account when building our change management plans. This is why having a skilled change manager who can build these plans is essential to the success of your project. To sum it all up, a key step in anybody's change management journey is ability. It is at this stage in the ADKAR model where you finally get to see the fruits of your labor come to life. Remember to subscribe and like this video if you enjoyed it. If you're interested in learning more about change management, check out our website where you will find a wide variety of instructor-led virtual training programs. In our courses, we teach you the ADKAR model, change management principles, and provide you with the tools that will help you on your change journeys. Thank you for watching, and from myself, Nick, and everyone here at AndChange, happy changes!